Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. My name is Shri Gupta, and I live here in Florida. Some of my friends have been asking me, Shri, you attended this camp in Bulgaria, Paida Lajin camp. So what happened there? What did you do? What was the experience? So instead of answering individually, it takes a long time, I said, let me just give a talk where I'll share my experience and the schedule of the camp, what had happened. So that is why this meeting is here. So I have some slides where I have put in some images of the camp and what I saw there. And with that introduction, I call it Kamen's camp. Here you see Kamen's smiling picture. He's the one who holds these camps almost every month in Bulgaria. And actually, now, I think, thanks to Kamen, Bulgaria is probably the leading country where camps of this kind are held. And my experience was amazing. And you'll see when I describe what happened. So the agenda, I'm going to describe the location where actually camp was held. So Bulgaria is a big country, but there was a particular city called Devon where it was held. The transport, so if you want to go there, how do you get to the location? The participants, what was the daily schedule in the camp? What did we do during each day? Nutrition, really the food, what did we eat? Then there was, of course, this is icing in the cake, is the hot water spring that we had access to on a daily basis. And this is very particular hot water spring. It's not a sulfur or other thing. It's a silicon. There's very few silicon-based hot water springs in this world. And then the benefits, and I forgot to write it here, the pricing. How much does it cost? So let us go deep into the camp. And you see the background here. So that is the front of the guest house where we stayed. And the car, this is Kamen's car, parked right in the front. Okay, so camp location, it is a city called Devon in southern Bulgaria, among the hills, beautiful location. The camp was 7 days long. Actually, this building, it's on what's called the Goritsa Street, and Goritsa really means a forest street. It's on a steep hill. So you have to really climb a very steep hill to get to the guest house. And above it, there's again a steeper hill, and you can reach the hilltop there. That's what we used to do almost every day. And this guest house is a beautifully decorated guest house and beautiful grounds. Multiple apple trees, pear trees, fig trees, other fruit trees which are local. And the greatest thing about this guest house is that the owner of the guest house himself is a practitioner of Paida Lajin and a great supporter of these workshops. He's quite a wealthy man, and actually he lives in upstairs in this building. So this is really a guest house. It used to be a hotel, and then the owner built a bigger hotel and converted this to a guest house and his own accommodation. So people can rent the whole place. That's how this guest house works. So here I'm just drawing a map of Bulgaria, and you can see this is Devon, southern part, and just below it is the border of Greece. One side you have Macedonia, Kosovo. On the north is Romania, and on the east is Turkey. You can see Istanbul. It's about a 6-hour ride from Istanbul. And from here, Sofia to Devon is about a 3-hour ride. And you get closer here. This is the main, so this one here, initially when you leave Sofia Airport, you go into the highway. And these are good quality highways. And then you go out into the mountain winding roads. It's a beautiful winding road and not a whole lot of traffic, so pretty safe. So the total time is roughly about 3 hours in this. Then how do you get there? So 3 hours is a good time. So the easiest thing, of course, is a taxi from Sofia Airport, and you can get taxis for 75 to 100 euros. And they're all good taxis. They take good care of you. And actually, if you're willing to drive, and they drive the same way as we drive in the United States, you can drive a stick shift, the manual shift. You can rent a car for as low as $3 a day. And if you don't really want to drive a stick shift, an automatic is about $11 a day. So very inexpensive. So this is, and it's really, the drive itself is beautiful, especially among the winding hills. And we stopped, when we drove, we stopped a few places. And I took the first option, took the taxi, and Kamen booked it for me. So this is another view of that guest house. It's a beautifully built, very good architecture, inside very well furnished. So this is another view. So the main street here going horizontally here. This is the Gorica Street, and there's the guest house. So the town is over here. It's a small village, and you go up the steep hill, come here, and then you can keep going uphill beyond it. So there's another image. This is the main highway. I was sitting next to the driver, so I just took this photo here. In between we stopped. There was a beautiful lake here. You could, and this is a very nice picnic area over here. Now, participants. What did I do? So participants, so mostly local people from Bulgaria. There was one gentleman who came from England, and everybody was over 50 years age. So I think the oldest person was about 80, 81, I think. And the kind of problems they had, one person difficulty in walking, and everybody else had pain in different parts of the body or stiffness. And as you grow older, I think everybody feels it. There's something or the other that goes on in the body. So the question always in front of us is, how do I take care of it? How do I make my old age smoother and better? So this image is on top of the hill, just above the hotel. It's a quite steep and long hill. So I'm just going quickly into the schedule, and later on, during the question and answer, we can discuss more. So the very first day, so I arrived. My plane arrived in Sofia maybe 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the taxi driver was there. And by the time I collected my bags and reached the guest house in Devon, like 5:36 p.m. So Kamen, all the other participants, most of the participants were already there. So Kamen said, let's do a little introductory Paida Lajin. So we did Paida of the head, I think mostly. And then we sat down for dinner. And dinner was simple, but very nutritious. This is the date ginger soup, big veggies, fruits and nuts, and I'll go through later on different food items that were available during this camp. The daily routine was really quite flexible. So these are the different things that we did on different days. So we will start 6 o'clock in the morning. Actually, Kamen wanted us to get up at 5:30, but I mean, at least I protested. I mean, 5:30 is too early. Then he said, okay, let's do it 6. And the reason he wants to do early is because yang rises at that time in the morning. So that is the best time to stretch and clear your meridians. And then we'll do stretching, at least hour and a half. And there were different ways of doing stretching. So one was like towel, as I have some images later on, towel-assisted stretching. Other was a stick-assisted stretching. Actually, with a stick, you could also do a self-massage of most of your body. That's an amazing thing. There will be yoga postures, and of course, the regular Lajin. And then we'll drink something, some juice, some oils. Some oils are very powerful. I mean, he had an apricot oil, which is very powerful. But I like the taste for it. It's a little bitter. Then we'll also have some different squatting positions. I think most people who do Paida Lajin will be familiar with it. Then we'll have breakfast, which is date ginger soup. You can call it tea or soup. And there will be fruits and nuts and smoothies. After that, we'll go out. So the morning, the temperature will be in Fahrenheit, it'll be 40s, and in centigrade, vary from 9 to 11 degrees centigrade. It used to be quite cold because the sun would come out, I think, around 8 o'clock or so. It past 8 o'clock. So before the sun came out, it will be very cold. So we'll have thick jackets, and I would put gloves and a cap, come out. And then sometimes we'll do Zen jogging, Qigong meditation, and sometimes we'll start with backward walking, going up the hill, walking backwards, about half a kilometer or so, and then we'll climb the hill. And there was steps. And what happens is you see these steps going up, and then the steps about 100 steps up, you see all these trees, and you think that maybe that's the end, but you keep climbing and you go behind the trees, there's another 100 steps, there's another 100 steps. It was a very, very steep and long climb, but it was very good. I mean, once you climbed up the hill, you felt so fresh, and especially the view all around was amazing, the hill view and the sun rising. So this is one of the views in the background here. And then after that, we'll come down, relax, have lunch. Lunch will be, again, a big veggies kind of stuff, nuts. After the lunch, we'll go out for the hot water spring. Now, hot water spring was not in the same guest house, but the owner had another very nice hotel. So about 10 minutes walk from there downhill. So we will walk to that hotel, and I have images of the hot water spring later on. We'll walk to that. And Kamen knew this path through the fields. We go through the fields, and there you have so many walnut trees. And walnuts on the ground will pick up loads of walnuts. Sometimes literally, if there was a wind, they'll keep falling. Loads of walnuts. And Kamen knows the trick of how to crack them very quickly, and we'll all eat these fresh walnuts. So then we'll go and enjoy the hot spring, and you can take shower, and there's also a swimming pool if you want to, but of course none of us swam. And then we come back, and then we go out in the lawn. By the time the sun is up, sun is at the peak. So it's quite nice and warm outside. So we'll do Paida, etc. outside for a few hours, then come back and then have dinner. So different items will be done depending on, it's very flexible, relaxed. We kept doing these things. We didn't want to hurry up or overstress the body. So really, in this daily schedule, the emphasis was on reducing the stiffness in the body. So most of us were higher in age. And as you know, Paida, Lajin, yoga, and these stretches taken, they all help in reducing this sting. And Kamen has his own massage methods that he has developed over years, and he has over 30 years of physiotherapy experience. So all of that helps. And then the nutrition, the other emphasis was the ingredients that were chosen, they were all handpicked. Organic, freshly picked or freshly dried, etc. And the third thing is work with Mother Nature. And that place where we stayed was ideal. It was in Mother Nature, part of Mother Nature, very few people around us. All right. So now you have a few examples of what we did. So you can see these steps going up. Actually, this is when we were climbing down. But so this is the hill climbing. These are the steps on that hill. And soon as the sun came out, it became warm, and Kamen kept reminding us, do not sweat. If you get warm, take off your jackets, take off your sweater. Make sure you don't really sweat, because sweat can get cold into your body, and you don't want cold to enter your body. So this is the hill climbing. Another thing, one day we were climbing the hill, you see this thing, this long string like thing here in the image. If you look close enough, you'll see this image here. Actually, this is centipedes. So these were like many centipedes, 50, 60, maybe 100 centipedes connected each other. So long, almost 5 or 6 feet long, millipede. First time I've ever seen this kind of stuff. But I thought this was interesting. And then we get to the hilltop. There's the whole team. We get to the hilltop, and there's you see the little structure on the left. So there's a picnic table, etc. on the top, or you could do picnic at the bottom. But actually, whenever we went there, we were the only people. There's nobody else. And then Kamen will do some stretching, or he'll do some paida, get us to do some paida. We will sit down on the ground. You see people are preparing to do paida here, help each other. So there's another image, and you can see in the background, you can see all the hills, the valleys, and the little town of Devon. Here you can see the little town of Devon in the background, and the sun is out. You feel so warm, although the temperature here, I looked at my cell phone, the temperature at this time was 12 degrees centigrade, maybe high 40s. But you felt very comfortable, very warm. So you can see a little bit of paida going on here. And again, after paida, etc., then we're ready to climb down. Right. So I'll give you another example of this is the towel stretch. So that was the hill climbing, and this is the towel stretch. So you can see it's a long towel that Kamen is holding. And what happens is, as soon as you start doing the stretch in 5-10 minutes, your body warms up. So the temperature here on that day, this is inside the guest house, was 9 to 10 degrees. There was a heater in the room, but still, I mean, it was cold. But the body just warms up. So you see, he had to take off his t-shirt as well. So use the towel to do the stretching. And here's one example of how you stretch back and forth. So your upper muscles get stretched, and you do it several times. So I don't have all this was like a towel stretch was like an hour-long stretch. And there were different postures and positions that you did it. And really, if you want to understand it, you have to attend the camp. So I'm just giving you a bird's eye view of what went on. So there's a towel stretch. There's another image here. See how you see he's using this towel to stretch the feet. So the back of the leg, the thigh and the calves, they get quite stretched. This is the stick stretch. So you hold a stick, and then you do a lot of stretching and massage, both. So one position, for example, if you're holding a stick, it becomes much easier for you to squat. You can see this squatting, holding a stick. It is very, very difficult for most people to sit on a squatting position. And you can do many, many more things. Of course, the stick also took like an hour and a half, the whole thing to do. So that was stick massage. There's a towel massage, towel stretch, and then you have the stick stretch. And sometime we'll do the waist swirling. I think most of you probably know about it. So this is he does it so well. So this waist swirling, sometime we'll do it. And we won't do a count. I think we did when we did the waist swirling, probably at least 10 to 15 minutes. And it's very good for the core of the body to get strengthened. So between the upper and the lower half, which is another very important aspect of the body. Okay, now this is the hot water spring. So this was another hotel, which is really a 4-star hotel, very nice hotel called Hotel Ismena. So what you see is a little pond here, and this is landscaped as a Japanese garden. So on the right-hand side from here, there's another small pond a little higher up, which is at a higher temperature, 40 something. So the water from the higher up flows into this pond, and the temperature here is 35, 37. And the water from here on the other side flows into the swimming pool at the bottom. So that temperature is high 20s or low 30s. So you can go sit in any of these, or you can swim in the swimming pool. So I mostly would just sit in this intermediate pond. It was so comfortable and so nice, the temperature, about 36, 37 degrees centigrade. I think that translates into about roughly around 90 or so Fahrenheit. And the sun would be shining. It's so nice. And I think there's another image of the same thing. And I am sitting here. I'm in the shade here. So that's why you don't see my face here. So that is the hot water spring. So they brought, wherever the hot water spring was, so they piped the water from the spring to the hotel. So the hotel guests can enjoy it. Right? So now some of the massages, which is like a stress massage. So Kamen is doing here. So this is, see, as we grow older, the legs and the feet are the most sensitive areas of the body. Right? So this is where he's doing, standing up, using his own legs to massage the feet. And here there's another lady called Rosie. She's doing on the another person. So we used to do on each other as well. And Kamal will show us how to do this. See, here's another image. Pressing. So actually he's standing on the two legs of this person lying on the floor. So the whole weight goes on the body, and then you shake it. So that brings out a lot of sensitivity. And for me, that was very, very important discovery. And I'll go into detail a little bit later on. So that was the massage. Now in the afternoon, when the sun was out, we'll go out into the lawn. It's a lovely lawn. And there were apple and pear trees. So you see the tree here in the background is an apple tree. And because the temperature will be around 20, 21 degrees centigrade, which is like almost 70 degrees Fahrenheit, it'll be so pleasant. Light breeze, light, cool breeze, and the sun shining directly on you. So we'll just sit down here in the lawn, put some yoga mats, and do Paida. And you can see this is some of the shadow on my shoulder. I think I have another image here. There it is. And you can see the width of the lawn here in the background. So this was an apple tree. I think this was a pear tree. So this is another image. Rosie standing behind me. So there's a yoga mat here that we used. And over here you see the railing, and beyond the railing there was a swimming pool. It was a very well equipped guest house. Of course, in this cold, you don't need the swimming pool because the main hotel had an indoor swimming pool. This hotel is Mena, which we could use if we wanted to. All right. So that was the Paida in the lawn, mostly in the afternoons outside. So some days we would go mountain hiking, and one day Kamen took us to river hike, a river walk. So this is the Devon River, which flows between two hills. It was about 10 minutes drive from the guest house. So you walk along, there's a path along the river, you walk, and then you have to cross a bridge to the other side. What happens is this river flows between two steep hills. So there's not a clear-cut path. You cannot build a clear-cut path all along the river. So what they did was they built these bridges. You can see this steep hill on this side. On the other side of the river, the same thing. You cannot have a dirt path. So they built this footpath, bridge. And this is almost like a kilometer-long bridge. So that was a lovely walk. It goes up and down, and the river below, and you see all the hills. And it really ends up in a waterfall. And this time of the year, it has been very, very dry in Devon. So the waterfall didn't have a whole lot of water. But we went all the way to the waterfall. So that was a beautiful trek. So that was a river walk. So we had the mountain climbing, river walk, and this is an image of the backward walking. So everybody here is walking backward. So if you see over here, you see a little sunlight here. That is where the guest house is. We start there, start backing up. And this is all uphill. We're walking backwards. And there's another amazing thing where whenever there was sunlight, it will be very warm. As soon as we came into a shaded area, it just cooled down. So that was the backward walking. We saw the hill climbing, and this photo didn't come out that well, only the bottom here. So this is the Zen jogging, the meditative jogging. So behind the guest house, there was sort of a level area, not as steep, and that is where we did our meditative jogging. And then also, if you remember, sometimes on the Zoom meetings, Tanya has done this Bulgarian dance. So sometimes we'll do that as well. So here you see an image. Yes, I'm doing this with the music outside, in the sunlight, in the open. It was very nice, very refreshing. So we did multiple things. And that is important because it covers different parts of the body. And also it keeps our mind fresh. Okay, so that was a bird's eye view of the stretching, the mountain climbing, walking, dancing, etc. Now about the nutrition and the food. So here emphasis was high quality ingredients. So what Kamen does is he locally picks fruits. So he goes to the farms, he will pick apples, he will pick nuts, he'll get veggies, he'll get fruits. Some of them he'll dry, like the prunes or the plums, he had dried them himself. Jujubes, they're all locally grown. He would pick them and dry them to bring them to make the ginger tea. He had brought a big watermelon, and that was more or less the last watermelon of the season that he brought. It was so juicy and delicious, all locally grown. He had honey. He had the bee pollen, locally grown, very good quality and delicious. And what happened was in the guest house compound, and this was the apple season, so there were apple trees, and many apples were ripe. So Kamen will go and hold the tree and shake it, and the apples will fall, and we'll go out and collect them. And we eat them, make smoothies out of them, and sometimes even bake the apples. And baked apples, I mean, they are delicious. I never had baked apples before. And of course, we had the walnuts. So what would we eat at different times? So we had the apricot seed oil, and there were other local oils. I don't remember the names of all the oils. And there was ginger plus jujube soup or tea. And there would be smoothies of different fruits combined with, he brought other seeds, sunflower seeds, etc. And then you can add bee pollen, you could add honey in them, and there were fruits, bananas, prunes, figs. Lunch most of it will be roasted veggies. And the dinner, what happens is a big kitchen there. It was all available to us. So there'll be somebody who will come for the lunch, etc. But the dinner, I mean, I love millet. I had carried some millet, and Kamen and Mina, they brought some millet. So it was a fun thing. We'll all get together and make some of these things. So one day we made millet pancakes, another day millet pizza, and it came out so good. Full of, and this was more or less vegan. So pizza was made without any cheese, but full of veggies. And we roast many veggies. It was, I mean, you had to go through the experience in order to enjoy it. All right, so that is a little bit very high level view of what was happening in the camp and how the camp was run and how the camp was designed. Now, did anybody see any difference? So Tanya had come in and she had a knee problem. And of course, the doctors had asked her for knee replacement. And after this, she has reported that she was improved considerably and she didn't think she needed a replacement anymore. The other lady, Rosie, she had not a severe knee problem, and she reported it is much better, the knee. The other lady, Asia, she had an irregular heartbeat, which has calmed down after the camp. And the another lady, and she made this statement, if it wasn't for Paida Lajin, I would have been in a wheelchair. And she's 80 plus, and she has been regular in the camps. She has come in the previous camps as well. So those are some of the benefits. And of course, you have to continue these things depending on the severity of the problem you have, and you'll definitely see improvement. Now, talking about myself, what was my experience? I've been doing Paida Lajin for like 4 or 5 years, and I've been very careful in what I eat, etc. So I follow that already. So I didn't expect a major change. I just wanted to get much more exposure to different ways of handling the body. And that's what I really learned. So the most important learning for me in this camp was the lower legs. So when Kamen did the massage, standing up, etc., on my lower legs, that area was so sensitive. I never imagined it would be so sensitive. And my toes also, very, very sensitive. So he showed me a couple of ways of handling that. And that is, and I do it now. And I'm seeing change. So the sensitivity is coming down slowly. I think I need to do a bit more. The other thing that I learned was, as you grow older, there will be a constant battle between inflammation and how you handle it through stretching or any other means. Because we are surrounded with toxins. And the water, the air, the food, there's a lot of toxins. So it is important for us to keep battling and detoxing the body. So camps like these are a great help in achieving that goal. All right. Okay, now another important part. What is the pricing? How much does it cost? So the one thing is your travel ticket, right? So whatever it is, wherever you live, depending on where you live, you'll have to buy your plane ticket. Now from the US, from the Europe is much easier to go to Sofia, which is the capital of Bulgaria. From the US, the distance is much larger because there is no direct flight from any city in the US to Sofia, Bulgaria, or any city of Bulgaria. Because I guess there's not enough traffic. So you have to go to a major hub in Europe, and all the major hubs in Europe are connected to Bulgaria. So, but having said that, because I live in Tampa, which is not as well connected to Europe, but if you live in a bigger city in United States, cities like New Jersey or Atlanta or San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago, you have many more options and much more inexpensive options to travel to Europe. So my plane ticket was about a little over $1,200, but I'm sure, I mean, you can get maybe $800 or $900. And also, if you're off season, I think the plane fare you can probably get for $500 as well. And in having said that, Kamen is very flexible on the dates. Right? He holds these workshops almost every month. But if you find out that I want to go, and these particular days on that month is a very cheap fare I get for $400, $500, then please work with Kamen. I mean, he'll try to work with you. So 7-day workshop, this is British pounds. That's what he has it. It's like 100 British pounds a day. So roughly it's about $120 a day. And that includes everything. So sometimes he has a camps for 7 days, sometimes he has 10 days, sometimes he has 5 days. But if you cannot, if the camp is for 7 days and you cannot attend for all 7 days, all you can take off from your work is 5 days or 3 days, he's okay. You can come, learn, go back and practice at home. Or you come back again. So it's quite flexible in these things. My experience, accommodation is excellent, especially since the owner is so willing to work with us, and he himself had great benefit by Paida Lajin. And the facility is so nice, the location is so good, it is worth traveling to this place. And the first thing, before I went there, I asked Kamen, why do you want to hold it in such a distant place? Why don't you hold in a Sofia? Then I don't have to travel additional 3 hours back and forth, and plus the additional cost. And he said, the difference is in the accommodation itself. The kind of facility you get, the hot water springs that you won't get in Sofia, probably the same kind, and the support that you get, you will not be able to get it elsewhere. I have attended many camps in the past. This is much, much better than other locations because of everything that it provides. Right. So this is a view of almost all the group. There are a couple of people missing here. I think one of them was taking the photo here. So this is when we finished. It's a nice, bright, sunny day. And then this photo was taken. I think this was just before we dispersed. So that is a brief summary of the camp. And now I open it for question and answer and discussion, and Kamen is also here. So he can also answer some questions if you have. So please unmute yourself if you have any questions. Or any comments? So, Kamen, did you want to add anything here?
Yes, I'm so pleased. Thank you very much for excellent introduction of our workshops. And I think this was very clear to anybody who is with us now and who is going to to see the video later from the Church of the Truth. That's why I'm very, very pleased with that. And if it's anybody have any questions now or later, always welcome, or want to comment something. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, please.
If you want to add something, if you attended the camps in the past, and if you want to add something.
Well, I'm always looking after the participants, and according the condition of the participants, I do the workshop. And of course, I pay attention to any individual person. And yeah, most of the cases are successful. Cannot say 100%, let's say 90, 95%, but we have a saying in Bulgaria, anything bad is for good. And if the person have some not so super positive experience, that's not mean that it's the next workshop it's not going to get better, because it's very important to understand each person, what it's important for him and what is his ability, and to work on that level, because we are persons and we have to adjust us or workshop according to the condition of the group. Ability, physical, emotional, and of course, always I'm trying to improve and to do better and better. It's cannot compare one another workshop. Anyone have some benefits, some things which have to be improved, but that's the way. That's a growing process. 8 years I'm doing over 100 workshops, maybe more. And always is something to add, something to be more effective, to be flexible for any of, as I told you, participant. And yeah, I see 20 participants now, and some of you can add to this excellent yeah, review from Shri. Please, not only me to hear. Yeah, Zoran, you yeah, we know each other. Yeah, Zoran, you can say some words.
Well,
We have
not yet, maybe later.
Okay, but till now, what's your experience? We've been seeing each other a little bit, and yeah.
I am happy with you, Kamen. Really, it was very good.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Zoran.
Just want to ask one quick question. Let me see my microphone, okay?
Sure. Yeah, we can hear you, Pablo. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I didn't see much of group Paida in there. I assume you did, right? Paida, people Paiding each other, that kind of stuff?
Oh, yes, yeah. Outside in the lawn that we did it, and on the hilltop as well when we did it. So normally it will be a group of 3 each.
Right. Groups of 3.
Okay. Yeah, so 2 people will Paida one person. So the image that I had on my shoulders, there was 2 people doing it on either shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah. That's and that's a very important point. Yeah. That's another advantage of the camp. Yeah, you can do group Paida, especially the areas where you cannot reach yourself. It helps.
Right.
Yeah. And the massage that I showed, where Kamen was standing on the legs, you cannot do it yourself. Somebody else has to do that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. You can do a little bit with the sticks. You can massage a little bit, but you cannot have the kind of pressure that another person apply on your legs.
So if did everybody follow Kamen's schedule, or were there people who came there with a certain problem and that was addressed at some time during the day or during the workshop?
I mean, he tried to focus, for example, the Paida and the Lajin, he would focus on individual problems. So he would suggest to some people do more Lajin, and he would suggest where to Paida in different points, depending on the problem they had. And some people, like the person who had a problem in walking, so they wouldn't go up the hill, or they would go very slowly.
Right. So it was tailored to different people's needs.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. And that's a very important aspect. Yes.
Thank you.
I'll jump in. I have just a quick comment and reflection, which would be first a note of gratitude to our host. So thank you, Dr. Gupta, much appreciated. Very, very great review, and I wish the camp could be tomorrow, and we are all signed up. So the next one should be on my calendar. I also want to acknowledge and express heartfelt gratitude to Brother Salim here, who is in this call, who invited me. And in fact, we connected only 1 month ago through mutual contacts, and he opened my mind to the entire world of Paida Lajin. So I am brand new and have been practicing for only 2 or 3 weeks even. And so it has been, even in the, I said to Salim that after my first day of attempting the Paida exercises and the shapes of the stretches and the prescriptions, if you will, I said, I'm still coming down. And now I realize that I simply won't be coming down from the elevated status of using these techniques. So again, just here to express gratitude both to our host. Thank you again, Mr. Shri, and then also to Salim over in the UK for inviting me today. This has been a wonderful presentation.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for your comments. So where are you located?
Currently in Madison, Wisconsin, which is my United States home base, but I'm also, I travel quite a bit. So for example, tonight I fly to London. So I have a company based in Thailand that we work for. So quite often overseas.
Oh, wow. So you can stop by sometime in.
I plan to. Yes.
Yeah. So Kamen, what is your schedule of camps? So I think you're going to have another week, right, in November, and then later on in March?
Yes, between 23 and 29 of November is the next workshop. 3 people from the previous one with you, they will come again. And we are going to be about 11, not more, 11 people together.
And then after that, you have a winter break, right? And then you're doing.
After that, December is not planning workshop, but January is planning workshop in UK with Wesley and Kim.
Right. Well, that's UK is very Bulgaria. Accessible.
Yeah. And then Bulgaria. February again.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello guys. Long time no see.
Hi, Andreas.
Thank you for your presentation, Shri. I had a question. Do you ever had, is maybe for Kamen too, this question is do you ever had somebody who had a thyroid disease and had any improvement of this?
You ask about thyroid.
Yeah, thyroid.
Thyroid. Okay. Of course. It's a few cases with improvement with the thyroid gland disease. Balancing the hormones, increasing hyperfunction, hypofunction. Actually, these exercises are to balance from hypofunction to normal, or from hypofunction to normal. That's why any person, it's as a Master Shao has says in the book, the thousands of illnesses is just the names, but the reason is not because the illnesses. The reason is background and emotional and blockages. And if the person is willing to be and ready and step by step, anything is possible. Even I told a joke, but it's true. Even the person in a wheelchair can go rid of it. And if he's concerned and willing and goes step by step, of course, I've been saying to the Zoran and to other people, climbing to the hill is not always going forwards. It's sometimes to the left, sometimes to the link, sometimes down, sometimes up. But you will reach the topic and you go further. And it's a process. That's why always Master Shao says, and I'm confirming that, it's a piece of cake.
Yeah. Okay, that means thyroid disease, cancer, it all is a group of chronic diseases, and
yes. If person is agree to do his own steps and like keeping the fire, cannot be doing few days and then nothing. Of course, sometimes it's not possible, but keeping the fire mean if it's possible daily and look after and change himself. It's my journey also in this 8 years. I did a lot, and now I'm more stable, better, not anything more getting the flu or something like that.
I felt the same. Like when I get the flu, it's not like before. Since I've doing Paida Lajin, the flu is coming and going in some days. And before, sometimes I was weak for 10 days or something like this.
Yeah, Andres, this is so true. What happens is when you learn technique like Paida Lajin, and once you're looking for solution for a particular ailment in your body, you will keep looking. You'll add other stuff. You'll add nutrition to it. Maybe you'll add frequency healing to it, distant healing to it, right? So once you're looking for solution, if one tool doesn't work, it's not the right tool for you, you'll probably keep adding because you keep constantly looking for solution till the problem is solved. And this is because now you know so many tools. Anytime the body is sick, you know the body is trying to detox itself. And you just help the body to detox. So the fever, you welcome it, right? Pain, you welcome it. You don't get scared. You're not afraid anymore. Right? It just changes the whole attitude completely.
Yeah.
It's so much better off.
Yeah, I was thyroid. I was asking, I had thyroid before, 10 years ago. I healed myself, but I am asking for some other people who was asking about.
Yeah, other people have to be curious. They have to be between us, and that's the way, because they have to be interested about that, and they have to be here, and they are always welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good discussion. Anybody else? Otherwise, if there's no more discussion of questions. It's almost an hour.
If I can add something. I was in the camp in summer in July, and well, I had varicose veins, and I didn't really, well, I didn't give it much thought, didn't expect them to go away because I was fully focused on the problem with my hip. But anyway, the varicose veins disappeared and my hip is still sort of a work in process.
All right, great.
I mean, it was, I must agree with Shri, what you said. They really, it's a beautiful place, and the interaction with people always sitting outside and with natural food was really, really nice.
Great. Thanks for sharing, Gudrun. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you, Gudrun.
All right.
May I add one more things?
Yes, Jim.
Hi, Jin.
Hi, Kamen. It's nice to see your camp. It's so wonderful place. I wish I can go there sometime.
Welcome. Always welcome.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask you if you introduce any Paida tools in that section, because I just see people use their hands to Paida each other. In my opinions, I think people still need tools to help them to Paida on different places on their body, which can do it more efficiently. And because some people are so weak, so that their hands is not powerful enough to remove the blockage, even though they Paida for a long time. So I'm not sure if you have this kind of exercises during the
You're
workshop.
absolutely right. And so first preference was do with the hands. And then we had, so Kamen had brought a whole lot of the pedals to the Paida. So wherever the participant felt it's not giving enough pain, then they would use the pedal because so some areas we would use it. You're right, absolutely. Yeah, both were used. And when we climbed the hilltop, we didn't carry any of the tools, didn't carry any pedals. We just walking up. So there it was all hand. But when we did in the lawn, we had all the tools available in the afternoon. Yeah, and you're right. Yeah. Many times we had to use the slappers or the pedals. Yeah.
Thank you, Jin, for the question. We've been using different tools, and it's very helpful for people who have less power. That was a answer from Shri. We've been using them, and always are available, and they're very powerful.
And some people had a lot of sha. Yeah. Any place in the body you touch, sha will come out.
Of course. Yeah, that's based on my experience, because when I introduced this method to the new learner, and then most of them are weak to use just their hands, and they are tired very soon. After they get a good tool, they can really do it maybe for more than 1 hour. They are not feeling tired. They want to keep on doing that. Good tools. That's why I still very recommend people to use a good tool to remove the blockage more efficiently. So I think Pablo, when I first time teach Pablo how to use how to Paida, he start to use the tool to slap all his body, right? So I think that's that make him get the good result in a very short time. So that's my opinion of that. My suggestion for that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you also showed me how to use some of the tools. I remember that big one here. right? This one, this one.
Yeah, at that time.
Yeah, you showed me in Denver how to use some of these things. So they are very powerful. Yeah, they were. Yeah.